Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you all have had an amazing weekend. And I hope everything is going just right for you. As we kick off this, this new week. As we kick off this new week. Got a lot of things happening, going on as always. But I definitely could not stop to smell the roses this weekend either. Let's do this. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shaking off the cobwebs a little bit here. I got too many windows open. But what up, that chick, yo? D-Rob. Health Talk, my guy, what's good? Toronto Rig is in the building. What up, Craig G? Y'all, my baby's sleeping, man. I don't think we've had one weekend to ourselves. I don't think in this house. Every weekend is somebody popping up unexpected and throwing off our work schedules, and which make us work later in the evenings. It's crazy. It's crazy, but that's life. We're adjusting to new schedules, new things are happening. But anyway, without further ado, welcome to Morning Motivation, where we build community, expand our thoughts, and get our day started on the right foot. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm so excited that you would stop through and spend a few minutes with us this morning. What up, Kay? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The weekends, I don't think we had a weekend this week. Honestly, I just don't. I don't think we had one. But something very interesting came out of our conversation with my wife and I this morning. And I'm going to do something in real time that I generally would not do. Generally, when you have a conversation with your significant other, generally when you make a decision or you change course, you don't do it in real time with other people. Normally, you would kind of do the trial and error approach. You would try to see if you could make something successful, make it work, and then you report on the findings. Well, not this time. Yesterday, my wife and I, we were having a conversation, and it's something that's been on my heart for a while. Some of you who know us closely know that we have a motto in our family called "Don't F it up." We talked about it maybe a few weeks ago. Don't F it up. You know, we got things going in the right direction. Don't F it up. You know, whatever you got going on in your feelings, in your heart, whatever you're thinking right now, don't F it up. And that's kind of been our saving grace, because our personalities can sometimes be oil and water, and the way we see things don't always jive with one another. And so that became our motto to get us through the tough times, because we found value in each other. But sometimes, man, sometimes, I don't care how much value you see in another person, sometimes you just want to get your talking off, right? You want to talk that talk. And so that became our motto, just to kind of give the other person. Hey, Toronto Rican says, hit that like button if you haven't. Thanks in advance, management. And so today we're going to talk about something that's a topic that's really near and dear to my heart. We've covered it in bits and pieces throughout, but we're going to really focus in on it today. And it's called playing small. You guys know that from the title. Playing small. Playing small is the thing that will talk in the right tone. See, that's right. That's what I mean right there. That's what I mean. Everybody, we all have our moments when what comes up comes out. You're frustrated. There's something that's going on in your heart that ain't right. There's traumas and there's things that we just react sometimes. Imagine being judged on your worst day. Imagine your whole life, your whole career being judged on one day, one incident. And that's what happens so much in our lives, just with our personal, individual lives. We'll take a bad moment and we'll let that bad moment haunt us and hold us hostage. And we'll say the right things and when we're talking to other people, but there's something that just sticks in the back of our mind that I got my hand slapped one time before, so I'm not gonna do it again. Or I touched the stove and I was told not to, and it was hot, and I still have the scars to remind myself of this hot stove that I touched. So now when I get close to fire, I'm gonna shriek a little bit because that last time I got burned. And so we guard our hearts, we stop taking chances, and we start playing small. And there's an old saying that winning is a habit, but unfortunately, so is losing. That's what playing small is. So my wife and I, last night, we were talking, and I said, "Babe, I want to change our family motto." She said, "Are you sure you want to get rid of the don't F it up?" I said, "I'm positive. Because at this point, we've been through so much together. We've spent so much time together working on ourselves and doing the therapies and doing the retreats and the getaways and the hard times and the bounce backs and the financial challenges and the health challenges, and we figured out how to make our relationship work. We figured out how to let each other make mistakes, let each other have those talks without being in the right tone. Because we simply realize that, one, we're human, but two, we are not each other's enemy. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. We've understood that, one, we are not, or the final part is, we are not each other's enemy. I may be having a bad day. She may be having a bad day. So the don't F it up is just saying, hey, breathe. But it allows me to get mine off too, because I feel away because of what she just said, or vice versa. I said something and she's hot about it. And she know right now she could drop a bomb on our whole relationship with the words she wants to say back to me. But instead she says, babe, don't F it up. And in my mind I know, okay, I went a little too far. So you know what the next thing gonna be like? All right, babe, my bad. I apologize. Just okay, I didn't mean it the way it came out. So it's like giving us that reprieve. So we've gotten through that part. We understand, and it'll probably always be in there. Matter of fact, I got my mom saying in there. Hey, mom, family motto. And it works. But what does the next level look like? What does the next level look like for us? Hey, that's your yell said, "Woosah." Yeah. But that's the journey of relationships. If you think you're going to be in a relationship with anybody for an extended period of time, just understand they are going to hurt your feelings at some point in time. They're not going to say it perfectly right every time. Just not going to happen. I don't care who you are. You're going to have a harsh word that you're going to have to take back or apologize for or something you got to make up for. In a long-term relationship, there is infidelity. Sometimes physical, sometimes emotional. There's harsh words. There's forms of mental neglect or abuse. In long-term relationships, you will run the gamut, which is why everybody that says they want a relationship, sometimes it's just talking points. Because some people can't get along with themselves. They can't get along with others, but they expect somebody to get along with them. It's an unrealistic thing. A marriage, a long-term relationship, a business, it is the hardest things you will ever do in life. And everybody simply doesn't have the chops for it. Because not only can we not forgive others, we can barely forgive ourselves. Which again causes us to play small. And I know I'm taking a long time to get to the point. But it's intentional. It's intentional. Because the new motto for my family going forward is dominion. Dominion. It's time to take ownership of some things. You know, we do okay financially. We're not hurting for money per se. You know, we could all, of course you could always use more money. I'm not saying, we got more than we need. We pay the bills and we're able to live a life that, is good for us. We're in a sense, we're in a space where we can use a few dollars, but if not, we still good. But have you just personally ever looked into a mirror and said, I am too talented, I am too gifted to not make more, to not have more value in the market, to not be held in higher esteem, or to not get the due that I'm deserved? Have you ever looked at yourself and said, I'm wasting my talents? I am not becoming the best version of myself. I could be so much better. That's the space I find myself in. And anybody who knows me, I'm not money motivated. Money has never really been the thing that motivated me. For me, it's always been my love language, acts of service. It is helping people, doing things for people. And I went through a period of my life where I was doing so much for other people that I was hurting my family. I was hurting myself. I was giving so much of my time because I didn't have any other resource to give. And then I'd be burnt out and I couldn't provide for my family and still have the mental capacities and feel good about myself. And so dominion going into this year is going to be my new family word, because my wife is so super talented. I'm alright, what I'm saying? I got a few skills here and there that pay the bills too. But we are too talented to be settling for what we settle for in life. Because if we could really be our best selves and earn at the level that we qualify to earn at, how much more help can we give? How much more can we do? How much more can we be in this world, in this space? How much more influence will we have? Because when I look around, whether it's social media, regular news media, the entertainment industry, There's a lot of people with a lot of influence that don't mean anybody any good. I forget who said this quote, but it was something around the lines of all it takes is for good men to sit around and do nothing for bad men to win. It was one of those generals from back in the day. I don't know. But all it takes is for the good people to get busy just making it for the people who don't mean the world any good, who don't mean our children any good, to let their voices be heard. I don't want Kodak Black or Glorilla or shoot anybody being the voice of my children's generation. I don't want my child to aspire to be the dysfunctional celebrity that we see, the dysfunctional social media that we see. But if I don't have dominion, if I don't step out and play bigger, take more risks, take more chances, then a whole generation of children, adults, never hear my voice, never hear the thoughts, the opinions. And I'm talking about me right now, but what about you? What about you? How many people could benefit from the knowledge that you possess? How many people's lives would be changed only if they just knew a portion of what you knew, what you've experienced, what you've been through? If somebody could see the example of your life, but then again, personal development is a personal thing. We do it in open form, which is why I'm really transparent about it. Because it's a deeply personal thing and we all have our hangups. So I want you guys to answer this question for me. If money was no object, if you could do anything in the world, if you could go anywhere, help anybody, whatever. If money was no object, you have plenty of it. You just write endless checks or swipe your card endless times. What would you do? And I know it's a cliche question, but what would you do if money was no object? If money was not a thing, what exactly would you do? What would you do? Somebody asked me this question years ago, and I'll just kind of filibuster just a little bit here while you guys start populating your thoughts. But somebody asked me that question years ago, and I said then, I wanted to give the politically correct answer. Oh, if money was no object, I want to travel and I want to help people and I want to what else did I want to do? I wanted to, man, this was so long ago. I wanted to, I've never really been big on like feeding people, like the feeding like the people on the streets. I used to, but I realized that that's not really what they wanted. That some of them, they might be hungry from time to time, but more they want money so they can do what they want to do with it. And I'm like, I don't really take care of grown people. I'm not really into that right there. So, but I just really wanted to help people. And the guy, he told me, ooh, Toronto Ricky says, pay off my parents' debt and open investment accounts for all of my kids. Wow. Also invest in land. Good stuff. I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, one of it was I wanna be able to either take care of my mom. I remember now. Take care of my mom, or build a wing or mother-in-law suite onto my house for my mom, when she got older. Because my mom only has three children, and all of us are grown, and at the time none of us were living in the same place, and because she had the thoughts that I had about cancer, if the cancer ever came back, because so many people had gone, it was coming back. And I was like, okay, I want to be able to provide for my mom. If nothing else, I want to be able just to give her a monthly stipend. That chick just said, my sister took mine. Also, man, okay. Birds of a feather flock together. Well, the guy asked me, after I started telling him what I wanted to do, he said, well, why aren't you doing it now? Oh, yes, yeah. He said, why aren't you doing any of that now? I was like, because I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta make it a little bit more, more breathing room so I can make that happen. He said, I forget what he called it. It was the law of expansion or the law, some law he quoted to me. It's been years ago, but it's the one we talk about which says, um, nature abhors a vacuum. Meaning, if if you clear your calendar and you say I got some free time, you're gonna instantly get 5 phone calls and people trying to fill that time, right? Is that what it just means? Something's coming to fill the time that you were just gonna chill and relax. Unless you schedule that time or you determine, if you just have empty time with nothing to do most times, something's coming to fill that void. But also on the reverse side of that, if you expand your life, if you expand your resources will expand as well. But because we don't see how that's going to happen, we don't do it. And so he told me back then, he said, you know what? You can just send your mama a gift card for $50 or $20 a week. No, it's not a lot, but at least she can about put a little gas in a car, buy some coffee or what have you. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. But y'all, guess what? I never did it. Because in my mind, I was gonna wait for this moment to hit it big. I was gonna wait for this moment to this whatever this moment was I was waiting on. I was waiting for this thing to happen so I could start doing it. But because I have whatever traumas or situations that I had going on, I didn't see it as enough. I didn't see that it made it much more of a difference. And so I didn't. Now, fortunately for me, because I've been on this personal development journey long enough now, that I do know that things do manifest when you have an eye toward them, where your energy is focused, where your attention is focused. That's where your energy goes, and that's where you start to see ways when there is really no way. Faith. I understand all of these things in my personal everyday walk, and so now I'm in a space where I'm still not like I still haven't hit it big. I still haven't done the things that I want to do, financially and impact wise. But the only reason I'm not is because I didn't start sooner. Can you imagine where this channel would be, where I would be, had I started doing this 10 years ago? But I was afraid to take the small steps because I didn't think it was enough. Put a 1 in the chat if you felt similar. Put a 2 in the chat if that's just totally crazy to you. Inch by inch, man. Step by step. If you want something, and D-Rod, we talked about manifesting. This is manifesting. You decide what you want. That chick yo says, but their debt is down too. things and wait, let me read this first. Oh, the next projects. Yeah. How the time I'm filling in that space. Then you find your next project. But yeah, so the reason so many of us we struggle with not making the moves that we should make, not living the life or having the results that we want to have or we would like to have is because we don't think what we have currently is enough. And it's never going to be enough if we don't start. Anything worth doing is worth doing wrong until you figure out how to do it right. It truly is. Anything worth doing is worth doing wrong or badly. But for some reason, D Rob says, me currently. Yeah, for some reason, we think that we have to make this big splash in the world. We think that we are. Well, you know what? Let me ask a few more questions. Why do we play small? What, give me an answer. Why do we play small? Not you specifically, but people that you may know of. You know, maybe a cousin, a sister, a next door neighbor, a best friend. Why do we play small? Why? For me, I played small because I did not see myself in a certain light. I didn't see myself in the same category to the people I looked up to. Toronto Riggin says, I started a podcast about 3 years ago, but wasn't seeing the results. I put it on pause. I took motivational speaking courses, but was nervous about starting because I didn't have all the resources. Shout out to Toronto Riggins. That is, oh my goodness, that is facts. I've been there too. Been there too. D Rob says, got my mind all over the place, but this opportunity provided to me could change my life. Shout out to D Rob. Like I said, personal development, man. We all have our journeys, and they're so similar, but because we're all different, it feels different because we don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. And so this is what we're going to talk about this week. Well, yeah, this week. This is what we're going to talk about this week. I thought I needed. This is Toronto Riggins. No, that's your says worried about what people will think of them or feeling or not feeling qualified. I'm sorry, I'm struggling today. I'm looking at a different monitor, and it's further away from me. So, you know, my glasses, they work great, but I'm looking at too many different things, so I got to keep them on. Yep, worried about what people will think and then not feeling qualified. That is, yeah, man, sound like you guys in my head too. So now I'm in a place where I have surrounded myself with people that have pushed me. Now I'm leading a group of women. My class filled up on day one. Shout out to Toronto Riggin. Shout out. Drop the bomb on that one. You see, it's the small steps. It is the everyday actions. It is those small things that keep us on the path. It is inch by inch, right? Inch by inch. You got to crawl before you walk is what we often hear people say a lot. And crawling, and then we walking, and now we're jogging, and now we're running. And then we say, you know what, it's a better way. Now let's create something with wheels so we can roll. That's a bike. Ooh, now let's do a horse and buggy. Oh, let's do a car. Oh, let's fly. You see, it's a progression that we have to have in our lives that we don't sometimes. And it is sometimes that fear. Sometimes we don't want to avoid being hurt. Sometimes we want to avoid being hurt. We fear judgment. We have all these hang-ups. Something that makes us feel uncomfortable. I told you how I used to freeze up when I was at the network marketing business. I used to freeze up when I used to go try to meet somebody and just like, I used to straight freeze up because I felt uncomfortable because it was making me become something that I didn't want to become. You heard what I said, right? My dream was making me become something that I didn't want to become. My dream, the thing I said I wanted most, was making me become something that I didn't want to become. So the question is, did I really want that dream? Yes, I did. But I didn't want it bad enough to become something different. Which is why we talked about the last few days seed sowing, becoming your best self. When a seed is going into the ground, we know that it's supposed to give us certain results. But that seed has to stop being a seed. It can't stay a seed and become a tree. That seed must die. So in order for that seed to become its true self, its full potential, that old self has to die. And most of us, we fear that because we cling on to who we think we are more than reaching for the person that we need to be. D-Rob says, my uncle got a head coaching job in Florida. Said he needed a running back coach, and I'm his guy. But I want to get this associate first before I make this move. But he's telling me transfer to a community college out there, but I've been grinding so hard where I am, I want to finish the job here first. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just said it. D-Rob, my guy, 5 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to thank the person you are today. Or you're going to regret the person you are today. Based on a decision you make right now. And it's not for me to say. It's not for me to say. You have to search your own heart because this is your journey. It's your personal journey. You have to search your heart. And you have to weigh the pros and the cons. You know what you want. But in order to get to that next little rung on that ladder, you got to let go of the previous one. Yep, you work hard to get here. Guess what? Mountains and valleys, mountains and valleys, mountains and valleys. That's why we're supposed to enjoy the process, the journey. Because once you get to where you're trying to get to, what's next? New levels. So guess what? You got to go down to go up again. And that's the natural progression of life for all of us. For all of us. That's the natural progression of life. So, not giving you any advice, but what I will say is this. If I had family that was taking on a new venture and they wanted me on that venture with them, and I trust them, but I also believe in myself, because at some point we have to bet on ourselves. We have to gamble on ourselves. We have to take risks for our future development. Playing it safe really only works in the markets, in the stock markets. In life, playing it safe will get you the same old results because you don't grow when you play it safe. And growth is what we need more than anything. Losses are what gives us our greatest lessons. Losses are where we mature the fastest. So I tell my sons, I tell my nephews and my nieces, go fail fast. I don't care what you want to do with your life. Go fail fast. Just make sure it's legal, moral, and ethical or honest. Go do it. Go figure it out. Go make mistakes. Go fail, because the person you're going to be in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be so much wiser, so much smarter, have so much more to offer and give the world because you failed. D-Rock said, man, there's a brick tied to my ankle while I'm trying to climb this mountain. Woo! Better a brick around your ankle than a 45-pound plate around your neck. And that's what happens. The older you get, D-Rob, the weight gets heavier, bruh. You ain't married. You don't have any children yet. Bruh, you could go drive Lyft and Uber and Postmates and hustle. But when you get a family, when you got that special somebody in your life, y'all cohabitating and got little babies on the way, that weight get heavier and heavier, my guy. So it's best to fail now. Go out there, take a chance. It's best to do it now. Because I can't come on to my wife and say, babe, I'm starting over. I'm quitting all my jobs and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this thing over here. The only unconditional love is from parents to children and pets. Everything else is conditional. My wife is married to me on conditions. I am married to her on conditions. The moment we stop meeting those conditions, it get rocky. We got some work to do. We got to get some help, some intervention. And that's generally how life works. But there's nothing my child can't do that will make me stop calling them my child. That'll make me not answer the phone when they call. They can say some stuff, they can be whatever, but guess what? End of the day, they're still my child. I brought them here. Oh, I ain't worried about B. She's still trying to get the coal out of her eyes right now. I ain't nervous. But no, I mean, I don't say anything to you guys that I don't say in general. This is life. I'm what you would call I hate to use the word realist, but I understand what things are. I understand that if I got depressed and I stopped working, is that autopathy? If I got depressed and I stopped working, if I became a different person than the person she fell in love with, I understand that it'll be hard for her to continue to love me at that same level. I understand that she didn't sign up to support a grown man and his issues long term. I understand that she came into this relationship for partnership. And if I don't hold up my end of the bargain, then I make life so much harder for her. Now, I'm not saying she gonna bounce, but I'm saying most people would. I take more. I can endure more than a lot of people because my love language is sacrifice. So I am willing to go the distance and work harder and longer and do more because it's just in me to do it. And I know even I have a point. If I don't, I wouldn't be divorced today. So I know most relationships are very conditional. There are strings attached to most relationships. Because you ain't going to have me out here looking stupid. I'm sick of you keep lying. Why you lying, Marcus? Oh, man. Okay, I don't got off topic. I don't got off subject now. My bad. Well, talking about taking risks. Why do we play small? We already said out of fear and, feeling uncomfortable, judgment. We talked about what we would do if money was no object. The things we would do. Why aren't we doing it now? Said Bobby, not most people. She gonna get you together real quick. Hey man, you might be right about that. You might be right about that. Cause she's rode with me through some hairy situations. I will say, she's rode with me through some situations that I was like, really, you still here? I mean, I would have stayed, but dang, 8 out of 10 other people wouldn't have. Interesting. Okay, I like it. I like it. And so that's why I don't shy away from gushing over her at times because she's earned it. She deserves it. And I haven't even. I mean, I ain't never cheated on her. I ain't put her out there like that or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just life stuff that happens that neither one of us has control over sometimes. And she holds me down in ways. And even one day, which is why when I opened the garage and I saw Lil Thickums walking by, Miss Parker Jr. walking by, I had to turn around and come back in the house. I don't even need to see nothing. I'm good. I'm happy over here. Leave me be. But she came and she was sitting, I was talking to me one day, and she just goes silent. She completely silent. And I look at it because I'm editing. I got like 4 screens. And my text messages are open on the big screen on my computer. And she's reading the message and she's like, so do I need to be concerned about this right here? I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, oh, nah. She looked at me like, really? I'm like, no, trust me. It's not like that. So I explained to her what it was and she was like, oh, okay, I get it now. But she ain't taking no way. She straight up asked the question, hey, this is okay. I see this. I mean, I trust you, but this random chick just sent you this. Not a random chick. She's a friend of the family, actually. Go back a long way and no history like that. I'm just on one of her lists. Okay. Yeah, I was in there counting boxes. Like, oh, I still gotta pack these boxes. Yeah, gotta get rid of those over there. Why? Because she adds so much. She adds so much value to my life, and it's not. And I won't say that nobody before has added value, but the level at which she adds value has separated her from everybody else. My perception of her is different. She cute as hell, but what's cute if I can't talk to you? We can't get along. Cute is a bonus. Cute is a bonus. If I ain't got no peace, I don't care how cute you are. Please leave. Get away from me. Bye. Poof, be gone. But value. She adds value to me. I add value to her. Now only she can tell you. She gonna tell you one of these days the value that I add to her. She'll tell y'all what I can't tell it myself because I don't completely know. Sometimes I'm like, why are you with me again? I'm like, why are you here? I wouldn't stay with me right now if I was you, but cool. Just jokes. But playing small. But playing small, man, we have to stop playing small. We have to truly start looking at ourselves in the mirror and understanding who we are, what we bring, and start taking the small steps today. Toronto Riggins, she actually yelled, said exit stage left. Abort. Toronto Riggins says, facts, just had that conversation last night. Yeah. Life will give us whatever we want. But the part that most of us get hung up on is we have to let go of who we think we are in order to become who we need to be. He's a good man, Savannah. Exactly. Like K, I call it K a saint. K a saint. Yep, K a saint. That's Saint K. You know why. Saint K right there, buddy. I tell you. So the question is, and this is what we're going to talk about the remainder of the week. Now I'm talking like we're gonna be going 5 days this week. We could really go 5 days on this topic, but we'll see how it go. This week, it ain't as bad as last week, so I might pop up an extra day this week. So we're gonna talk about this week some of the reasons why we play it small. And honestly, I believe religion is a big part of why we play small. So I'm gonna talk about something that I try not to talk about too often: church. It's hard to talk about the church sometimes, or even politics, without people getting in their feelings or being super critical. But I know this is a safe space, so I'm not really too worried about it. But church is definitely one of them, or the role that religion plays. We're gonna talk about parenting. We're gonna talk about leadership. Might. Keyword is might. Hey man, he my brother. I can talk about him. Hey man, I grew up with that dude. I raised that dude, and so I know. Whew, that man's a handful, and I don't mean in a good way. Wait, is there a good way to be a handful? I mean, yeah. See, I start talking about church, and the inside talking about church, perversion comes out. Y'all see how the devil work? All right, let me stop. All right, so we're gonna talk about church, the role religion plays in us playing small. We're gonna also talk about the role that parenting or our parents played and how we played small, but also society overall. So we got a bunch of different angles to cover this week. Also, leadership. Some of us need to learn better leadership skills, and some of us need to be led. And the crazy part is the people who need better leadership skills are the ones who are not trying to be the leaders. And the ones who trying to be the leaders are the ones that normally need to be led. And so it's the image of who we think we are versus who we need to become to get where we need to go. Pride and ego, they all play a huge role, huge factor in our development. So that's where we are. This has been Monday, kind of introducing a new subject to you. And so that's where we're going to go. We're going to breaking free. Tomorrow we're going to talk about breaking free. Tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tuesday? No, I can't do tomorrow. I got an early meeting tomorrow. So Wednesday we'll be back talking about breaking free from limitations. Breaking free from limitations, where we're going to pick up with tomorrow. And oh snap, do I have an appointment today? Let me look. I think I do. Yep, I do. Well, with that being said, I think it's time for me to get ready to get up out of here. Hope you guys had a great weekend, man. It was, like I say, non-stop. I did get one day to go fishing and hang out with my little bro. We went fishing together. Didn't catch too much though. I caught more on Friday. I went by myself Friday. On my way home, I stopped by on my little spot, and I caught a couple. Caught about 4 nice sized crappie. Didn't do much at all on Saturday though. It's spawn season, so a lot of fishermen are out there. Toronto Regan says, I know that I was always supposed to be in leadership role. To be in a leadership role. That tried to run from it the other side and push me into that role. Yeah. People who want responsibility or want certain things, they probably just want it because it looks like a good position to be in. But the people who don't really want it tend to make the best leaders a lot of times, because you don't want to mislead people. You want to be fair. You want to be balanced. You want to really serve people, and you're happy to do it from the shadows. But that's the voice that needs to be heard. That's the voice that needs to be influencing. So many people just want fame and clout, and they want to appear to be more than what they are. And then they get put into the spotlight and they can't handle it. Because I could very easily have been the guy that opened that garage and saw that wagon that was pulling out in front of my house and went over and said, "So how you doing? My name is Jamon. I live here. Where you live?" Oh man, I love that outfit. Where'd you get it from? You want to go shopping? I could have been that guy that pulled up and said, "Come on, I got some holy oil. We're going to lay some hands." But no, I had to grow. I had to evolve past that point. I had to fail a lot of times. I had to let go of the person I used to be to become the person that I was supposed to be. So unless a seed falls to the ground and die and changes and becomes something else, it can never recognize its full potential. So this week is all about not playing small. This week is about breaking free from the limitations, setting new outlooks. Thank you for the, oh, you're welcome, you're welcome. I know my wife appreciates it as well. She'd be scared to leave home. No, her husband is a mess. Probably. She probably would be the one laying hands. But I've seen it so many times, man. People they thrusting themselves into the spotlight because the good people refuse to not be in it. So this week, we're gonna learn how to stop playing small. We're gonna start maximizing and getting the most out of our lives. Are y'all with me? Put a one in the chat if you're with me. Put a one in the chat if you're with me. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the subscriptions. This has been Morning Motivation. So excited to share this time with you. And I look forward to where we're going from henceforth out. Let the church say, yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.